Hello there, Hallmark here. I'm out at the greenhouse today. It's beautiful fall weather and we're getting ready to transition the greenhouse from our spring and summer setup to our fall setup. And I thought I'd take you along and show you kind of what I've done and what I'm continuing to do. This is a multi-step process. This will be video 1, so make sure you hit the subscribe button down there for more and hit like if you like it, if you gained something out of it, if it helped you out with your fall greenhouse. So maybe this will help you get that greenhouse ready. So here we go, let's do it. For those of you who don't know, I built this greenhouse last winter, and it's been pretty neat. I didn't do a super good job. You can see some issues with the PVC piping, and I learned a few things. That's kind of how it goes with these projects. You learn as you go and you make it better, and you know, if I ever build another one, I'll know exactly what to do and what not to do. So this is the greenhouse. It's a 12-foot by 12-foot greenhouse that I built from PVC pipe and just some 2x4s along the bottom there. And I did a little facing with some OSB. You can see the OSB. This is the attic grade stuff that you put up that has the solarization on it. So it's got a little, I thought that might help with the insulation and stuff. And of course I just fashioned a little simple door and all that. So pretty nifty. Now what I did is I went to farmplasticsupply.com. That's where I always go. And I got me some new sheeting for this. I went a little bit bigger on the dimensions to make sure that I had enough, because last time I did not do that. And I had some drooping and it didn't quite fit, and I tried to stretch it and it just wouldn't work right. So I went with bigger dimensions and I just cut it off right here. Did some staples. Of course I'll go back and I'll fix that a little bit better as time goes, but I did get brand new greenhouse sheeting. Cost me about 30 bucks, not too bad. I just stapled it all around, secured it with a few boards, and Bob's your uncle. So that was the first big improvement. Alrighty guys, hey, we're in close quarters now. We're inside the greenhouse. Okay, behind me is the second improvement that I made. Now this is not final yet because obviously there's no hole behind it. Eventually I want to mount this fan up and have a hole behind it, you know, to where it can pull in or suck out air from the outside to kind of help regulate temperatures and help airflow get in here. But I went ahead and hooked an extension cord up to it, and I went ahead and got the fan going because I did have a little bit of green, kind of mildewy, moldy stuff on my seedlings. So I thought, oh no. So it just needed air movement. It needs the airflow in here. And you can tell a huge difference. The ambient temperature goes down just a couple degrees, but that's not really, you know, you can't tell it as much, but it just feels fresh in here. The air just feels better. It's not stuffy. There's air movement. And that's not doing a whole lot, and that's not really efficient. You can see it's just like right next to the wall, so it's not really, you know, doing any good. But it does help out versus what I was dealing with. So, you know, grab your box fan, just throw it in there, and we'll go ahead and continue that project, and you'll see that in future videos. Now we get to the topic of today's video, which is I added some plumbing. I got a hose ran in here under the board there, very simply, with a you know, a little, I guess, 3-way connector there, so I can shut the certain valves off. I can have a little watering wand later, whatever I want to do. But I hooked this up to my Mr. Landscape system that I had in my big garden. You may remember that video from earlier in the summer when I hooked up a drip irrigation. They have a great kit you can get at Lowe's for like 60 bucks. And I just reused the same one and saved myself some money. So it comes with a pressure regulator, a clean out, a filter, all that good stuff. And it was already hooked up. So what I did is I just ran it over here, used some zip ties to secure it. Bought an elbow. This is an Orbit elbow from Walmart. It's a different brand name, but it all fits together. And you can see I just did a little elbow and ran it on down here. And here's where it gets cool. Look at this, y'all. I found this, of course, the Mr. Landscape system comes with these little pieces and these little valves here. You can cut each one independently on and off, which I thought was pretty neat. And all this came with it. But I went to Walmart and I found these little Orbit, again, different brand name, Orbit little sprinklers, and they were on sale, and I said, oh man, let me buy that. And that's what kind of sparked the idea for this. So basically the idea is once these settle, which they're kind of still bent because they were coiled, but once these things straighten out and they'll hang down, hopefully it'll water. Okay, that was fun. Anyway, I fixed my tripod now. Sorry if I gave you whiplash. Anyway, but yeah, so these little Orbit things, hopefully they'll hang down and mist down onto the little flats. Now this is just some old soil I got in here. I just had this left over, so don't you know, look at this. But here I have some garlic planted. I have some purple green beans that I'm gonna try. I guess they're purple beans. I guess not green beans, but anyway, garden beans, whatever. And I'm going to start them off and try to grow them throughout the winter. I'm going to experiment with that and have fun. This is available for seeds. I may plant some broccolis or collards in here. And then I got some kale that's growing. And you can see how it was kind of green and mildewy. Ooh, nasty. So we got some air movement in here now, like that, and everything is much, much better. So anyway, at the end, when you get down to the end of all these, I just crimped the hose back on itself, wrapped it with some electrical tape and zip ties, and Bob's your uncle. So now we're about to go ahead and test this system for the very first time. I haven't cut it on yet. I'm going to let you guys see it live. Organic fertilizers, organic pest control, hello. And then we're going to see how bad it is or how good it is and all that. So let's cut some water on. And again, guys, I have not adjusted any of the valves or any of the spray heads or anything, so this will be kind of rough, but let me go cut the water on and I'll show you how it works. Alrighty guys, let me show you. Now these are bent still, but you can see the water pouring out of them. Now I'll have to do some adjustments on these spray heads, because if you don't adjust them, they kind of just drip. But if you, well, I probably can't do it one-handed, but anyway, but if you adjust them, they look about more like that, which is pretty neat. And I will say, for like $1, this is a pretty good deal. Look at that. It can actually cover a lot of space, and it really wouldn't take that long to kind of mist each tray. You can see kind of how that would be. Kind of, sorry, the camera angles are bad. But anyway, yeah, it's watering my garden for me. Isn't that cool? Well, this little guy, I got to check with him. He just needs to be adjusted, I guess. Well, anyway, isn't that fun? Now, I did notice I am leaking pretty good right here at the, you know, the filter and all that. So I'm going to have to clean out that filter and maybe replace the part there. But hey, that's only $2 or $3 or $4 anyway. So you can find all that Mr. Landscape stuff at Lowe's, and you can find the Orbit at Walmart. But yeah, pretty cool project. And each one of these, like I said, is independently controlled. So if I don't have anything here, I can cut that off, and look at there, cuts it off. Isn't that cool? Hey, anyway, that's the first part of my greenhouse deal for fall. I've got some power out there, got some air movement, got some water going on, got some fresh plastic. So next time what we're gonna do is, we're gonna talk about how I'm gonna store my potting soil mix that I do, how we're gonna plant some things in the greenhouse for the winter and fall. We're gonna talk about heating. Next episode's on heating. Also, we're gonna talk about dialing in this watering system and getting it working out just perfectly. And we're gonna put some hay bales and some water as a heat sink. We're gonna do a lot of cool stuff. So this is just part 1. If you wanna see part 2, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and that like button. Helps me out, helps me grow the channel, and does some good stuff for me. Also, down in the comments, tell me what you think. Is this stupid? Should I have done something different? Like, what should I do to fix this? How can I make this better? Talk to me now in the comments. Thank you.